Hey everybody, Pwinsidertv here with 2/3 of the BWO, Blue World Order, on the right. Mike Bucci, a.k.a. Simon Dean, a.k.a. Nova, who's regularly heard on PW Insider Audio for Simonology, and at times even the football show. On the left, DDP Yoga Guru, longtime former WWF, WCW, TNA, and ECW original, who was in the first ECW match ever, Dancing Dr. Stevie Richards. How are you, sir?
I'm great. We have a lot of names.
Against Stuka? Who was the first one against?
No, Jimmy Jannetty.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, totally
Michael
forgot
Jack's
about that.
Sports Bar.
The Riverboat Gambler? Jimmy Jannetty? Wasn't he the Riverboat Gambler? Jimmy Jannetty?
I don't know.
Is that what it's called, Johnson?
I don't know.
No, I'm telling you, I'm almost positive.
Ron Rivera from the Carolina Panthers.
I'm almost positive.
Well, this is going to be a lot better than that commercial we
Jimmy
just did.
Jannetty, if you see this, I'm almost positive you're the Riverboat Gambler.
And if not, you are now.
But why is he?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I'm almost positive that was his gimmick.
Oh, God.
I thought you might have fought the Super D's in your first match.
That's like Dancing Stevie. That makes about as much sense as that.
When I came to Mike Schmidt's Sports Bar, that's when I first saw you with Super D's when they cracked your sternum.
I do remember that.
Yep.
You,
I was there for that.
I'm sure Mike has some questions for us.
Mike, what's up, man?
How are you guys? So let's talk about what you guys are up to now. Obviously, Stevie, you just relocated to Atlanta. You gotten heavily involved in DDP Yoga. Talk a little bit about you were talking a little bit to us about camera about the Performance Center that Paige is building down in Atlanta, and you're going to be heavily involved in that. Talk a little bit about it and why you got involved so heavily in DDP Yoga.
Well, depending upon when this airs, I mean, the construction's going very quickly. We'll probably be moved into the building sometime in February as far as office space, stuff like that, and the actual Performance Center. We're shooting for April 2015 this year. If it's not ready and it's not 100% operational, just like the Death Star, then we're not going to do it. But when it's done and it's ready to go, it's amazing. It's an almost $2 million facility. Incredible. Going to have DDP Yoga classes. Also going to be the central hub for the DDP Yoga Now app for iOS and Android. So we're going to have live workouts, we're going to have custom workouts, we're going to have workouts from Stevie Richards, from Dallas Page, Christina Russell, other instructors. Also, we're going to have cooking shows and all sorts of other content. It's crazy. We got a full production house. Our production team, who edits all the videos and stuff, is going to be housed in there as well. So for a tech guy like me, Mike, that's sort of like a kid in a candy store all around. It's
kind of going to be like the DDP Yoga version of what WWE has down in Orlando.
Yeah, I mean, well, you call it a performance, I guess. So. I know we didn't really go out on a limb with the name, but it really is going to be fully rehab, physical therapy. We're going to have that as well.
But people actually enjoy being at the DDP Performance Center, right?
They'll come out of it. Yeah, they're going to come out of
in trouble for
DDP.
not shaking somebody's hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there's going to be too many people with heat at the DDP.
There's no heat at the DDP Performance Center.
As a matter of fact, I've been trying to. This is a huge shock, Mike, but I've been trying to institute an office cat policy at the DDP Yoga Performance Center.
Because you do love cats.
I'm trying to turn it into a half cat cafe performance center.
Cafe.
And if you go
a cafe.
Yeah. But I was trying to do that, but you can actually on Facebook and Instagram, you can see me talking to Dallas, and you know the exact moment I gave him the pitch because he had a look on his face like, I just don't quite want to hear this.
Kind of the look on Lagana's face, and you used to pitch him ideas? Okay.
Oh, he pitched an idea to Kevin Thorne from what I heard.
That's what I heard that too.
Speaking of heat, and this is why people talk so bad about you, Bucci. You just run with your mouth.
It's limited people, though.
Yeah, he opened that up. It wasn't me.
That's the thing, Mike. It's limited people. It's a very small percentage of the tens of thousands of people who I've met in pro wrestling over the years. You being one of the biggest supporters of it. But I always laugh when I hear that because it's an infinitesimal sample size. I mean, I went to a show last night at PWS. I loved every single guy that was around there. So if I've ever had issue with somebody in the past, it's always because they were just an asshole, or they were a piece of shit, or they treated people like a goof, and I just didn't like their attitude. And I never really hid that. I don't hide things well. And sometimes I do say things before I think, but it's what's on my heart. It's what I'm feeling, and I don't tolerate nonsense or disrespect at all. And I haven't changed in 20 years. 24 years even.
That good or bad that you haven't.
Two of the biggest heels I ever met, though.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I'm just going to say, don't send a mattress to Al Snow's house or dig a pull in the back.
Served me well.
Just checking Jehovah's Witnesses, the Dreamer's house.
That was a good one.
That was a bad one.
That was a good one. It was totally accident. I didn't plan to do that when his grandfather died. I mean, that was hardcore. But what are you going to do?
Let's
He's converted, too, from what I heard.
See?
Let's talk about life after wrestling. For those of you who follow us on the elite section of PW Insider, you talk a lot about life after wrestling, Mike, and working at the banks down in Louisville that you manage. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about what it's like once you step out of the wrestling bubble and how life changes for a pro wrestler.
It's an awakening, man. It really is. I mean, I'm glad everybody who's in WWE, I hope to make $1 million. I hope to have a great time. I hope it's awesome. I hope to get to see and do the things that we did. But when you're out of it and you step away and you look at it from a different perspective, you almost say to yourself, I don't want to be just remembered just for that. Like, if I die and on my tombstone it just says I was a wrestler, then I think I had an incomplete life. Like, I have 2 degrees in mathematics and finance, and I'm a businessman. I still do the business from time to time. I get to see my boys and hang out. I mean, I just look at life totally different than I did 10 years ago, where every day we woke up and it was eat, sleep, breathe wrestling, and I don't ultimately think we got out of WWE what we put into it. It's not, the business is not fair. It's not supposed to be fair. So if you can get in, make a couple bucks, and make some friends along the way, that's cool. Get out in one piece and then move on with the second half of your life, so to speak. And a lot of guys can't do that.
Now, Stevie, you had a lot of injuries over the years. Is it, we mentioned the second half of your life. How is it for you these days? I mean, obviously you're in phenomenal shape. You've kind of become obsessive compulsive about keeping yourself in that shape, which is positive for you, obviously. But how do you feel after all the injury? You've had a serious neck injury over the years. How do you feel these days?
Everybody has their days, and today, like, I did a little bit of wrestling last night in that Rumble at PWS, so I'm a little sore. But that's just a matter of not getting in the ring on a regular basis. But that's why I turned to Ddpyoga, and that's why I turned to fitness as a whole. And eating right is just as important, if not more, and not putting garbage in your body, because I have to be accountable every day because of the damage I did to my body for 20 plus years and continue to do on a more part-time basis. I need to do that stuff in order to not only recover but prevent those injuries from feeling worse, getting worse. So it's kind of like physical therapy every day if you look at that as well, and moving forward in fitness. The Ddpyoga stuff just loosens me up and just brings me to a whole new fitness level, plus mentally and spiritually as well. Puts me in a good centered place, teaching me how to breathe, which, life is really about trying to breathe and get through uncomfortable situations and trying to get through it without with the least amount of stress.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining us. And
that's it.
Oh, we can keep going. I just didn't want to be.
Cares about. No, I got a Super Bowl party to get to.
Like 12 minutes,
I know Bucci's looking off camera like, let's go.
I'm looking at the store. I've never been here before. You come here all the time. You've been here.
Look up World's Worst Wrestling Commercial, and you'll see probably the one we just did.
Well, we talked about. I talked about this.
Hi, Shear.
Dave Shear?
Yeah, Dave Shear.
Oh.
He's sitting in Arizona right now in his big house.
Nevada.
In Nevada. He's got his Fitbit on, tracking his steps.
Money he made?
Yeah, he made a lot of money on the dirt sheets. Even though, no, I can't make fun of Shear. I like Shear.
I like him, yeah.
He's not Mike Johnson, I'll tell you that.
He's not a big, I don't think he's
Mike Johnson's outside right now. He's sitting on the other end of his camera. Mike Johnson's the number one.
I do like cats.
Mike Johnson is the number one wrestling journalist in the industry.
Let's stop right there. That Mike has been
100%. My friend for 20 plus years.
My favorite guy to talk to.
Yep, absolutely. One of the only ones. I don't respect there's almost no other wrestling site I respect except for PW Insider. These guys, Shear, Johnson, the whole crew who are here for all of it. They're the only ones I respect. The only guys I ever talked to.
And he stopped by just to see us. We wanted to do an interview for him because he just.
The rest of them I wouldn't piss on their newsletter. I could care less about it. These guys are legit.
You'd probably piss on it.
I probably would. And tell them to go.
At least
where to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate
just checking.
I appreciate the vote of confidence. Thank you.
We wouldn't piss on you, Mike.
Thank you.
Isn't that the best compliment ever?
Thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
Johnson's heat-free. Well, no, Johnson has heat with some people, but it doesn't matter. Johnson's relatively heat-free. Everybody likes Mike Johnson. He's a name. Mike Johnson's legit.
I don't know about that.
I don't know a way to get out of this interview right now.
It's getting a little awkward. I'm expecting a ring.
What he said is he's pretty much saying we would not piss on you, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot.
You're welcome anytime.
Stevie, talk a little bit about where you can be found on social media. Obviously, you've got the Tech for You and your other T4 show. Excuse me.
No. It's all umbrellaed under realsteverichards.com. All the T4 show stuff, Ddpyoga, the wrestling stuff, which I usually never include within that site, and my love of cats, animal rescue stuff. But I love dogs too, so all in there. Follow me at BWO Stevie until WWE gets me verified under Stevie Richards, and also go to ddpyoga.com.
All right, and Mike.
Mike Bucci on Facebook. That's it. I don't
That's
do
it.
Twitter. You know that. I don't do Instagram, social media. Not really
do
at all.
Instagram? It's
I don't
pretty
do
cool.
that.
I like
I know all
Instagram.
about it. I just don't really.
Stevie Richards.
I'm not. I'm a pretty closed guy, man. I mean, I don't really put a lot of stuff out there.
Tinder?
I mean, hell, yeah,
just
we're
got
on
Tinder.
Tinder.
We got
It's
Tinder.
pretty over. But I mean, you know. I mean, hell, man, and I just don't put a lot of my personal life stuff out there.
We're not here for a hookup.
No, it's just weird, man. I don't put a lot of that out. I mean, I went probably a year and a half where most of the people I'm actually pretty good friends with even knew I was getting divorced. I mean, you were one of the first
divorced?
I know.
I already did, yeah. You knew
When?
that. I told
No,
you.
I'm kidding.
But I mean, I don't really talk about my personal life stuff a whole lot, and I'm not. I don't have much to promote. This guy's all over the place. Meanie's all over the place. I don't. And the only reason I even came to this because it was for PWS, and I knew I was going to be with these guys. And getting to see you is an added bonus.
Awesome. Well, I thank you guys so much for.
Once again, we won't piss on you, Mike.
Thanks.
Don't worry.
I sincerely appreciate that. Hashtag don't piss on Mike. And thank you very much. And we'll talk to you soon here on PW Insider TV.
Sell.